decided he wanted to vote, so he kept going down the register, and the cops kept taking him away from there, threatening to arrest him. So he called up to SCLC, and they said, well, we got some other programs now. So a gentleman named James Orange, one of King's top brilliant lieutenants, got on the phone and said, well, they're not here, but I can come down. So he comes down. A friend of mine called me and told me what was going to happen. So I told Leo to change my schedule. And here's what happened. James Orange came down. As soon as he got out of his car, white folks arrested him. Jimmy Lee Jackson decided that he's going to the church and organize the deacons and the church folks, and we coming back in front of that jail so you don't lynch him tonight. So when they got back there, state police, county, city police, first they shot all the street lights out. They attacked them black folks. I got there 30 minutes late. Blood was running down the street like a flood water. While y'all sit and discuss tactics of something you're not going to do. Tactics. So they was beating them, and Jimmy Lee Jackson's mother, her father was there, and they jumped on him, 80, 90 years old, and she grabbed the cops. And black folks started running. They went into a black convenience store, and the cops chased them in there and keep beating her father. And then they jumped on her, the mother, the father's daughter, and Jimmy Lee Jackson, that was his mama. And he went to pull the cops off, and they shot him in the stomach 5 times. You Disneyland folks. You folks that want to sit around and gossip and talk about what you're going to do. You was nowhere in the real world. 5 times they shot him in the stomach. And what did they do? They carried him to the police station and booked him. Carried him to the police station and booked him. It was that movement that's the cause of a ignorant, unethical, uncouth, ungodly, unspiritual black man sitting there with the mind of a heathen, sitting there on the Supreme Court. Clarence Thomas. It was what we did in the street that permitted him to get some federal money to go to school. I don't have no problem with it because everybody got a right to go crazy, but at least let's know he's crazy. See, I blame Clarence Thomas on black women. He had nappy hair, big jaws, big lips. He looked real Negroid, and y'all wouldn't go to the prom with him. His brother got married him a white woman. I hate us all. I teach my grandchildren, at least with some brother you think is ugly, don't go to the prom with him. Don't create another Clarence Thomas. Here's a man with 5 bullets in his stomach. And they carried him to the jail and booked him. And then carried him to the hospital where he laid 5 days and died. I'm trying to tell you now how Obama got in the White House. And it never was supposed to be a march for voting rights bill from Selma to Montgomery. That march was a march to protest the killing of Jimmy Lee Jackson. Wow. And that beating you saw on the bridge, the reason King and none of us was there, they never sent a call out. It wasn't meant to be nothing but to protest this brother you killed. And the way you killed him. And then after the world saw what happened on the bridge, that's when it turned to the voting right bill from Selma to Montgomery. And that's when the voting right bill got pushed through. But y'all lay in your little comfort zone. I had no problem with that. had 10 children, and I'd never put my children over this movement. Y'all can, because you're a bunch of cheap thugs. When you're boys, before women could get in the army, you black men would run to the front of the line, and when that little white sergeant said, take this hill, you didn't tell them about your children. You went up that hill that redneck told you, but when it comes time to liberate your children, you wasn't there, huh? You pay for that. There's a universal order, baby. There's a universal order. I'll pay for it. I gave up millions of dollars because I wanted liberation. When I bought me a Rolls Royce, I didn't buy it for my children. I bought it for myself. I don't use a cheap comma that as long as my children is free. Damn that punk. If you ain't free, they won't be free. That was my attitude. Huh? And my wife went to jail more than I did in the South. Huh? And then when the children, never forget, we had a pitch battle in Greenwood, Mississippi, man. And they put us all in jail, but me, they left me in the street to be killed. And I called my wife. I said, baby, we ain't got nobody here. Send some of these children down here. It's on summer vacation. She said, which ones? I said, you better send some you don't like, because the chances they will not be back home. You know what it feels like as a father? Marching in Shreveport, Louisiana. Today, the drug pushers, we the baddest folks in town. They had a park called A.P. Palmer Park. Called it a shooting gallery. Any cop that would go in that park on a call without 12 to 15 squad cars would be suspended. Me, my wife, and a black priest, Father Clemens. We put a tent up in the park and said, this park is off limits. You know what that means? That means they couldn't do that if the cops didn't have the approval. So we was checking on everybody. Come on here, thug punk. We'll show you who's the baddest. And we closed that park down from drug pushers. They had little pickup games in the park. $10,000 a man playing basketball. We shut it down. As we marching through the town every day, about 2 weeks into marching, we started hearing dogs barking. Why? The town was so frightened, they kept the dogs in the house. Huh? Kept the dogs in the house. And then an FBI agent came up to me one day and said, Mr. Gregory, we just think you should cancel your march today. What do you mean? Well, there's a crazy, psychopathic white that vowed he was going to kill you today. I said, bring him on. The FBI knew who it was instead of them telling him. They told me. So I had this little son. I got 3, but this one looked a little weird. He always played back in the back of the line, playing at the ladies and talking stuff. And so I told Leo, we're going up the hill, baby. And, you know, I don't have to tell you I love you and all that crap people say when they're ready to die. So as we started marching, I was wondering if the bullet hit me. Would it hit me where I could jump down in the gutter? Or would it hit me in the head? And then all at once I felt something to my right, and I looked around. It was my son. My son. I said, what you doing up here? He said, Dad, I just want the right to die with you today, huh? Try that out, huh? Thank you, son. Thank you, huh? And you wonder why the cops do you like they do. They know what they dealing with. But then they found out one day all of us they can't deal with, huh? You know, when I walk out my speech, walk out the grocery store, the clothing store, I got to check the back of my car to make sure my license is still there. Why? Why? Never stole nothing in my life. Paid more taxes than the president. why check my license? Because if a cop take my license off my car, or the FBI, the CIA, then they have a right to pull me over. That's probable cause. They have a right to put the handcuffs on me. You have no license on the plate. This car might be stolen. And then they go in the car and they search it and they come up with a box and they say, is this yours? And once I put my hand on it, my fingerprints on it, that's the drugs they put in the car. Huh? And yet those of us that was in the heart of this movement, you cannot look at us and see no hate. How do you deal with darkness? You turn the lights on. These ain't number little roaches we dealing with. You elevate them to human beings. They're roaches. And if you walk in the house and the roaches is all over the kitchen, all you got to do is turn the light on and the roaches will haul ass out of there. That's what we did to them in the South. Them roaches tried everything. They tried to shoot the lights out. They tried to bum the lights out. But this light didn't come from no electric. This light came from a bunch of human beings that was full of love and kindness, not willing to kill, but willing to die. So we all sit there, especially you Christian, with a Bible and the gun in the same house and talk. You have just violated God when you put a gun in the Bible and say you just canceled the Bible out because you say, God, I know you created the whole universe. You created all the sand and the wind and the storm, but I don't believe you can protect my family. Now go ahead, take care of your own. Huh? Go ahead, take care of your own. How many of you men out there that had sex with girls below the normal age, and you hollering about some men with their pants below their butt? What kind of thug, heathen fool are you? Huh? Are you crazy? Huh? Walk around the house. Don't talk to your wife. You're mad at you, man. You mad what them white folks said to you downtown, but you ain't got sense enough to stand up to them. But at home now, I used to see them Negroes pop come home and raise hell, kill everybody. Boy, this is my house, nigga. I'll kill you. If you'd have said that downtown, Pop, we'd have scared you. Black men got brand new Cadillacs, were scared to take their car. They parked 6 blocks away from where they was working because they thought if white folks see them, they might fire them. And then talk about I got these children to feed. I got the house note to pay. The house note to pay? With what kind of money? Dead money? Blood money? Blood money? Somewhere. So when we look at Trayvon, you're so bullshit. You don't even figure out stuff. You just take exactly what the press tell you. Let's look at Trayvon. The little girl that testified that embarrassed some folks, embarrassed white folks. She said, yeah, he called him a such and such a creepy cracker. Well, how did she have to say that? Who told her to say that? See how they feed you? Who told her to say that? If I was the president of the United States, I wouldn't worry about nothing else except going in. I'm looking for I'd go in and look for jewelry tampering. And I'd take my own agents down there because there's redneck, Negro-hating FBI and CIA agents that wouldn't give the president the time of the day or the Justice Department. I check out the judge. She did something in the trial. As many times as I've been in jail, I've never seen the judge do. Zimmerman's lawyers made her mad. Those of y'all watching when she walked off the court, you thought she was showing some gall. No, she was just giving him, in case the case was lost, that gave him a reason for appeal, because she tainted the court. The jewelry by that. When the judge is in the court, you don't argue with lawyers, you get them for contempt of court. Did y'all miss that? Did y'all miss that? The prosecutor? And Zimmerman's lawyers?